All right, everybody, welcome to Chapter 3. So glad to have you here still. I know Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 were challenging, particularly Chapter 2. So glad to see you're still with us and still pushing ahead. So in Chapter 1, we covered all of the self-improvement, self-development sort of stuff. In Chapter 2, we talked about developing the campaign message, very critical. Now in Chapter 3, we start getting into the actual nuts and bolts and nitty gritty of running a campaign. So the way you can start to think about this is if you just think to yourself, what does a political campaign look like? All those stereotypes that come to mind, yeah, that's what we're going to start talking about in the next few lessons. So buckle up, ready to get excited here. Basically, what we're going to talk about in this chapter, Chapter 3, are the essential campaign assets. There's 4 of them you need to think about. That's budget, information, schedule, and volunteers. So that's budget, so like money and finances. Schedule is really your time, how much time you have. And then information, so the sort of information that's being pumped into your campaign and being pumped out. And then volunteers, or like people power that you have on board. Those are finite resources and they're absolutely critical to any campaign. So we'll cover these in each 4 of these pieces we will cover in an individual lesson throughout this chapter. In each lesson, we'll describe the asset in detail and then try and provide some best practices around it. And then where we can, talk about little hacks that you can make the use of these more efficient or just modernize it. In this course, guys, the campaigns that we're running together, we're not doing things just because that's the way they've always been done. That's not happening here. So if I can find ways to cut things out and shortcuts and make things more efficient and utilize technology, then that's what we're going to do. So we'll talk about that where applicable over the next 4 lessons. And yeah, so that's the basis here for Chapter 3. And let's dive into it. See you in Lesson 1 when we start talking about budget.